Hi, I'm William Joy with WFAA, and we know you get a lot of questions about the COVID-19 vaccines in Texas, so we're starting to kind of casual weekly update explaining what happened the past week, what we're expecting for the week to come. And some of the biggest movements over the past week have been with the vaccine hubs. We know that's what a lot of people have questions about. So for instance, in Dallas, city of Dallas last week, there were issues with their initial vaccine hub rollout. A lot of people waited in line for hours. 40% of people ended up being turned away because they had booked appointments with invalid links that had been shared on Facebook pages or emails or neighborhood groups. That's the same issue that Dallas County dealt with initially. And so now this week, they're starting using a QR code system that you can scan on your phone or print out a piece of paper to help move people through. Because of those issues, the city of Dallas is going to give Methodist Health System about 3,000 of its doses to administer this week and take some of the burden off the city itself. The big hub news this week, though, might be up in Denton County. Texas Motor Speedway is going to handle their vaccine rollout. They're setting up 16 lanes of cars, 3 different clinics, all in the same area. And they hope to be able to do 1,000 vaccinations an hour, which is fantastic news. To put that in perspective, 1,000 people an hour, Dallas County is doing 2,000 people a day at the Fair Park site. A question a lot of people have is, when will vaccines finally be available? And the answer is still, to a certain degree, that we don't know. Now, so far in Texas, we're averaging about 90,000 doses, first and second combined, per day. You can see that on this chart. And you can know that that's an improvement, right? We're starting to see that kind of upward movement. You see it was flat for a little bit, but we're going back up. Now, that needs to really double, though, moving forward, so we can vaccinate people in less than a year, because that's the current rate we're on now, is about a year. Now, the good news for Texas is more vaccines are coming this week. Texas will get 500,000 first doses compared to about 330,000 last week. The other good news is in the counts that we're talking about, right? That 500,000. Right now, they're just including 10 doses per vial for Moderna and 5 doses per vial for Pfizer, but using what is called low dead space syringe. We'll just call them low dead space syringes or special syringes. They think you can actually get an extra dose out of the Pfizer and an extra 2 doses out of Moderna. So we're really getting more doses than those numbers even imply. The bad news is that we'll be back down to about 385,000 doses per week, not just the week after, but at least for the next couple weeks after that. And because of the extra doses we're getting this week, here's what the county allocations look like. Here's how many everybody's getting. So 48,000 are going to Dallas County, 33,000 for Denton, 43 for Collin, and 28 for Tarrant. Now, you might look at that and say, wait, Tarrant's larger than both Denton and Collin, almost double, right? Well, the reason for that is because of this math. It shows doses allocated per person. The state, you can see, shows Tarrant and Dallas in green and Denton and Collin in the red. So they wanted to help balance out how many allocated doses per person are going to these areas. But here's the counter argument to that. This map shows vaccinations per person. You'll notice that Tarrant and Dallas suddenly become red, Denton stays red, and then Collin County turns orange. That means while allocations are low there, people in Collin County have been able to find the vaccine wherever, most likely in Dallas County or Tarrant County. It also means that Tarrant County and Dallas County are vaccinating surrounding counties, which is the plan, because fewer doses are going to places like, Johnson County or Hunt County or whatever it might be, Rockwall. Now, the hope is that by mid to late March, we'll have, emergency use authorizations for 2 more vaccines, Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca. That'd be a huge boost to supply. The White House has already said they're looking at more ways to expand the supply for Moderna and Pfizer to boost the production, right? And one of the other numbers that we're talking about is people getting their second shots. One of the concerns from the very beginning is people remembering their schedule for that second shot, or even just finding transportation to get back to it. As of Thursday, the last time we got numbers from the state, just 173 people were actually overdue, which the way they're counting means it's been more than 6 weeks. But you have to remember that basically that's going back all the way to the first week of vaccination. So not many people had been vaccinated. So not many people could be overdue if you're doing it for just the first 6 weeks. But another 168,000, almost 170,000 people are due, meaning they've hit that 4-week mark where it's time to get, back in the line, get, another shot, the second dose, and move forward. Well, that is a significant number of people. So we're going to have to watch that in the next couple of weeks. We're already hearing actually from certain hospitals that they're starting to see issues with people forgetting about their schedules or just not showing up for those second doses. And that's important because those vaccines, the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines that have been approved so far, are much less effective if you only get that first dose versus getting both doses. Now, outside of the numbers, forget about all that for a second. One of the other questions we keep getting is confusion over sign up. So here's what you can do. We put this on TV almost every night, but you can text the word vaccine, just the word vaccine, to 214-977-6028. That's 214-977-6028. And that'll give you a list of a link to signups, right? You can go through all those links and sign yourself up just from your phone or computer, whatever it might be, or ask for help if you need it. And there's also phone numbers. Collin and Denton County are actually limiting signups to people just in 1A and 1B for now. Dallas County and Tarrant County are allowing anybody to sign up, but remember, you're going to have to wait until whatever category you fall in actually becomes, available to be vaccinated. There's also phone numbers you can call as well, because we know that so far, access to internet's really been a barrier to people who haven't been able to get vaccinated. In Dallas County, they've also had issues with people sharing those sign-up links that I talked about earlier. One problem in Tarrant County is there's been issues where people try to sign up more than once using the same email address. One simple way to walk through that, and it might, you might be spending a lot of time on hold, but a workaround to that is to call the number, work with people, and they'll help get you set up, because you don't want to run into a situation where you sign someone up, a parent or relative using your email address, and then there's a problem signing up either another parent, another relative, or yourself. That could be an issue that kind of gets you moved down the line, right? At the end of the day, nothing's perfect right now. That's what we're still figuring out. There's a little bit more that we're learning each week. What we want to do is to keep these kind of very casual conversations going, answer any questions you might have. So if there's something that we didn't touch on, something you want us to touch on next week or the next time we do this, just leave that in the comments and we'll try to get to it when we can. Thanks.